Hi, my dear subscribers or subscriber who's watching me, who are watching me. I don't know yet. It's my first live stream, and I hope it will be useful for you and interesting. And today we are talking about such a topic like choosing the right marriage agency for yourself, how to understand if the agency is good enough or not, or it's fraud. And I will share with you my experience, what I had from other clients, what I saw by my own eyes, and I will tell you my pieces of advice on this topic. When you have questions, feel free to write me them in chat and I will answer. Meanwhile, I will start talking already. And first of all, I would like to start with the definition of marriage agency, matchmaking agency, dating agency. Often these words are used like synonyms for the agency who makes people to meet, make their meeting possible. And what I see in our Ukrainian reality, absolutely different organizations with absolutely different approach. They call themselves a marriage agency. And what we heard from our clients, ladies, when they applied to us, sometimes they told us awful stories. And if to tell you shortly, marriage agencies, these people call themselves like this, starting from normal, good, trusted agencies, big ones with system work, working for many years on the market, to agencies who have just maybe 10 girls, friends, all friends, having no office. And I even heard some cases when ladies told that in these agencies call themselves marriage agency, but in fact they were just web studios with special kind of chats. I hope I hope you understand what I mean here. So it's not a marriage agency at all, but thanks God our police works, and usually they disappear quite quickly, and usually they can't function for many years like good agencies. So before or when you apply, first of all, you should look at some signs that can tell you if this good agency is good or not. And now I will tell you about these signs, and then I will tell you about the signs of fraud agency. It should have official name. And usually such an agency you can easily find on the internet and Google to find the address, the phone number, the time when they work, and usually there are at least some reviews from clients. Of course, our field of activity is quite personal, and not many people like to tell others they are using the services of marriage agency, because it's kind of intimate topic. And even when our clients make couples, they're not always happy to announce about their love, that they meet the other person in the agency, not by natural way. But at least if the agency is functioning enough, it has some 2-3 reviews on Google for sure. And what else? Usually, all officially registered companies you can find in special lists on the internet with the name of owner and so on. And it can be done in Russian language for sure. I didn't check if it works in English, but if you have a Google Translator, you can also do it in Russian and check. Then I think it's quite important that the agency is present on social networks, because it's well-known fact that social networks are everywhere in our life. And if the clients of agency are mostly foreigners, then the agency should care about contacting them through different means, including social networks. And I believe they work with these channels of communication with the clients should be taken into account by these agencies, and usually they have some regular and useful content on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube for sure. It's the most popular here in Ukraine. I heard that Twitter is also popular in the US, but we don't use here it so much. So maybe not all agencies will use it too. What else is important? I think testimonials. As I told, not many couples are happy to tell openly and a lot to many people online that they married through the agency or they met through the agency, but at least some of them, they are ready to share the experience. And as soon as the process of finding the right match, even through marriage agency, can take some time. Sometimes it doesn't happen like a click, just in 1 week. So we already started to ask our clients to leave their views about how the process goes, because I think that it's also important, because in the process when you date different girls and you are understanding more about yourself too, about the reality, about how much your requirements for the match are adequate, and it's also a very useful stage for you while before you choose someone for long-lasting relationships or marriage. What else is important? I was really surprised when one of our clients who just applied to us, we met in the office for the first time. He is in Odessa already. And when I asked him why he came to us, why he chose us, he told, you answered me at least quite quickly. So I can't imagine how it can be in business, but in fact, some agencies, they even don't answer to clients promptly. Sometimes I think it happens because they are already not working, but in other cases, it tells just about not systematic work of the agency, and it's not a good sign. If I was a client, I would think it's not a serious approach too. And as for the office, still I think it's in our culture to have the office if you have a serious stable company, especially including meetings with the clients. So we still have the office, but at the same time, I look at the matchmakers in the US and other countries, and I see that in the modern world with good internet access almost everywhere, we already not don't need the office so much as it was in previous years. So it's the criteria. It can be important, but it is not the most important fact, I believe, because I think that with the time things will change, and more people will prefer online work. Because if we talk about foreign clients, man, usually I meet with them first on Skype, and then when they come to Odessa to meet our girls, then of course we meet in our office. But we keep our office working and functioning because we also need girls to come to us. And in our culture, it's also very important for women to see that we are existing physically, and we have the office, we have special location where they can come, and we can talk to them in a normal way, to check their documents, to take pictures, and so on. So we still have the office, but I'm wondering maybe it will change in some time. I don't know yet. And also, when you come to the office of the agency, of course, you can have different taste about the office. Someone can like some office, someone not, but at least it can be, you see the sign of care or about this place of attention, and that it's not the office of some company who just came. This type of almost empty office with minimal amount of things and furniture. I think that just by first look you can identify it quite quickly. And I think this is the most important factor or criteria of choosing the right agency for you, is your contact with the representative of the agency. Usually, if the agency is not very big, it's yet the director talking to you usually. If not, the manager. But first of all, you should feel the trust to the person you are talking, because you're going to work on your personal life with this person, and you need to have trust, and you need to have contact and how to say to get along with this person very well, and to even it should be pleasant for you to talk with this person. You should be ready to trust some very personal details to the person. So I think it's like choosing the psychologist for you. There is personal contact means a lot, very very much. And when clients, sometimes we have clients who come to us and they become our clients right away, but sometimes clients are searching the opportunities, they're comparing and they're talking with different agencies, and it's impossible to say. In Ukraine there are several famous big agencies, and you can easily then find them on internet. They are open, they are taking an active part in all the professional events that happen here or overseas in our field. And when you talk with each of the representatives or directors of these agencies, just listen to yourself and try to understand to whom you trust more, with whom you want to work closely. And I think this is very, very, very important factor. If you don't trust the agent, sometimes I get calls from clients or letters, and they tell me, I know how all your agencies work in Ukraine, so I don't trust you, let's start. And in these cases, I usually refuse to work because I don't see it makes sense to prove something to the person who originally doesn't believe in the idea. So you may know, you may hear it many times that our thoughts, they make our reality. And if I see the person who doesn't believe in anything from the very beginning, I don't think that there is a sense to put my energy, the energy of my colleagues, to the work with this person, and it doesn't matter how much money he is ready to pay. So as maybe you had it in my other videos also about understanding the lady is seriously interested in you or not, just feeling yourself, listening to your heart. It's intuition or gut feeling, or you can call it in some other way, but usually people can feel. They sometimes they can't explain it by words or logically, but usually you can feel if it's right place for you or not, right person for you or not. The same is here while choosing the matchmaking agency or matchmaker for yourself. And let's talk now about the fraud agency. Which signs I would like to show you. This is also one of clients told me that he found some agency online and just wrote them that I want to find a girl of this type and that type. And he even didn't tell enough about himself. He didn't tell anything about himself, just about the lady who he wants to find. And someone on the other this correspondence answered, send us this amount of money and we will work with you. So it's definitely not serious approach. It means as a person, the agency even didn't ask you about yourself, and it doesn't understand even about your personality type, what you dream about, and so on. So obviously, it's not serious agency, and don't even think about paying this way. The next point is when you come to this agency and they promise you everything that you want to hear. You know, like we will make you married this year. We will make you to meet the beauty queens. Everything will be perfect. Don't worry, and like that. Because obviously in our field, usually when my clients ask me about guarantees, I explain that in the question of relationships, it's impossible to give any guarantees because first of all, we are the intermediary between two people. We have a base of good, sincere, serious girls, and we have a base of good and sincere men. And we just make you meet the right people with the other right person. But we never can influence a lot on your relationships. Of course, after you meet a person and you start developing relationships, we are next to you. We are in touch if you need any piece of advice or you need consultation without psychologists speaking two languages, English and Russian. We provide you with this help for sure, with this support. But it's you who build the relationships and the ladies. So if someone tells you that they guarantee you marriage or promise such things that logically you understand it's impossible to promise, then it's a sign of not so good agency or fraud agency. The same is about accepting any of your requirements about the lady. I have one friend, and we made videos together, Conor Klein, if you heard about him, and he's traveling a lot in Ukraine and in Russia, and in Moldova, Belarus, and so on. And he told a very good thought that if in your own country you are like looking like, for example, for 10 points, and you was always dating girls of 10 points, I mean the scale of your intelligence and of course the beauty type, then you have all the chances to date the same type of girls here. But if man was like 4 points, 3 points dating 4 points girls in Ukraine and want some supermodel to meet in Ukraine, then it's most probably it's impossible. And sometimes I meet people, men who can be older than 60, looking like their age, according to their age, and they show me the pictures of very beautiful and very extremely young girls, and telling me that they were meeting them, that these girls are really seriously interested in them. I say that we can't provide this type of service to them, and I don't accept such clients because obviously, of course, when I ask about the continuation with these girls, these men tell me either about these girls asking money or just dating or being overcharged in the restaurant with these girls. So I don't believe in such miracles. And in fraud agency, you will be promised any type of girl who you want to find, who you describe. So I wouldn't recommend you to work with such an agency for sure. As the same, the other point is quite close to the previous one. It's about giving you any guarantees that you want to hear. Like in any field of activity, we talk about any service. If someone guarantees you everything, it's not true. So I wouldn't. I would pay attention to this fact in the agency also. And also, I think that good agency or fraud agency, it wouldn't be. It will accept any money that you are ready to pay. Because good agencies with system of work with many clients, they usually have a set of standards and they know how much they should charge the clients to support the high level of the service, the high level of education and qualification of their employees. But in a fraud agency, you can discuss the price to a big extent to make any impossible discounts. And sometimes I also get clients, prospective clients, they come to the consultation and they want, for example, the list package that we have, it costs about $1,600 and the others are going higher. And sometimes clients to explain me why I should do my work for $200. But of course, in these cases, we just stop the meeting, and I understand that this type of job it does cost much more, and to attract more serious girls with our agency to our agency, to have a base of good, smart, and still beautiful girls in our agency, we need to put quite a lot of money to advertising campaign, to marketing, to paying marketing specialists to attract exactly such type of girls. Then we invest money into the process of interviewing the ladies, because it should be also very taken time, taken effort, and taken time of special person who does it. I am not in time interview all the ladies, interview all the men, and make up or to do all this just alone. So I have a team, and I need to pay this team. So I know the the level of prices for which we can work and we can deliver this service, and for which we can never work. So if the agency is ready for any payment that you want to give, then I think it's not a good sign at all. And as for the next point and last point, it's I probably also mentioned it. It's about meeting any girl who you want to fight. They just can give you some website, or I don't know, they maybe printed catalog of women, and they say choose anyone. Anyone will go to the meeting with you. And also, it's fraud agency for sure, because if the lady is real, if she's sincere and she's really looking for her second half, of course she wouldn't accept any man who got interested in her. Girls also look at your profile, they read it, and they understand if you are interesting enough for them to go for a meeting or not. Because most of our girls we have in our agency, they are from 27, 28 and going higher, so they have usually some career. Some of them have children, and they have not much of free time for just dating with anyone. And they are motivated to choose carefully who they meet. So when you come to us, we never say that you can meet any woman that you wish. No, for sure, no. Ladies also have the choice and the right of choice. And usually on the first consultation, I can also already tell you if what type of girl you could meet with us or not. If we talk about fraud agency, any girl would meet any man. If even she's 25, he's 70, no problem, because usually such girls just get paid for going on date, and they bring you to overcharging restaurants, and they make money this way. I think that I saw this quite similar situation in Thailand when I was traveling. Very, very young girls, Thai girls with older men from the US. But I guess in this case, they both knew what they get, both were interested in such type of relationships. If you are coming to Ukraine just to have fun, to have a nice time with a very beautiful girl next to you, maybe it's a good variant for you. But if we talk about building long-lasting relationships and meeting for something bigger than just having a nice time, I would recommend you to stay realistic and to listen to advice of good trusted agency. I guess many of my colleagues also give consultations. Some are doing this for free still, and they can give you at least a realistic view on the situation, what you can hope for, what not. And you can also get consultation with me, and I will tell you the truth. I'm always delicate in telling the truth, but I prefer to give you a clear understanding of what you can get and what you can't get here in Ukraine in sense of meeting the girls for marriage. And this is just the principle of our work. And I prefer to work with realistic people who can be responsible for this, their part of work in this process. So, I mean, building relationships and being adequate about who they want to find. I don't see the questions from you, probably because this is just the first live stream, and I didn't announce it a lot anywhere. Was thinking to try it today and to see how it goes. And now I will finish. If you have some questions, feel free to write me, to apply through our website or to my Skype or such social networks. And we are planning to do these live streams every week, every 2 weeks rather, for the beginning. So you can write the new topics who are interesting for you, and I will make the live streams for them. I hope this one was quite useful for you, and write me about your feedback. I would be grateful to hear it, to know it. Then have a nice day, and meet you in our new videos. Goodbye. Hi, John. I already saw a few messages. Hi, John. Do you have some questions? Let's wait a little bit. So Jonah asked me, how does someone schedule a consultation? Usually clients write through our website. My assistant talks and gives some initial information. And if the client is interested, then I contact the person as client and we appoint our first consultation. And usually it's 15 minutes for free because I think it's enough for you to see me, to feel if you have trust to me and if you want to continue. And also during these 15 minutes, I see you, how you look, how you interact, and also make my conclusions. And if you want to continue the process, then we go into the deeper consultation where we talk more about your case, about your background, about your perfect match profile. And then it costs $75. Then this price will be deducted from the price of package. I hope this answer was quite full. So, John, if you have some other questions, I will be happy to answer them now. It's my first experience and with this live stream, very intriguing and at the same time was very frightening in the beginning. So it seems that's all. If you have questions, you can always contact me. Thank you, John. Thank you a lot. It's very, it's a very important, highly important now to get your questions and your positive feedback. Thank you a lot for your support. Okay, I will finish now and we will meet soon. I will repeat these live streams for different topics and I will try to make them maximum useful for you. Have a nice evening, everyone.